Man, so we're almost running out of time, but let's close on gratitude because and man, I'm glad we were able to make these podcasts happen. This is just the beginning, folks. This is Go ahead, Neil. What do you got to say?
I know you wanted to talk about Marv and the guys from the system in the past. You want to save that for another one? I know we're
Yeah,
running
we're gonna
out of.
say that for another one. This is gonna be quite the journey me and you are going down. I can like feel something and I knew I'll be totally honest. Doctor, I've been trying to find you for years. I've been seeing you pop up in like little bits of footage and YouTube videos. I'm like, there's that guy. It's the dude with the black hair. He's like that big, like he's like kind of like a thick guy. I see him like in all the SSL videos, working with Rhonda. All these things, and there's always something about how you kind of explain things that always kind of like it just clicks, and it's just really really amazing that you've been able to pull this off, and I'm so glad that we were able to have these conversations, like practicing my gratitude and to take a little side note, just to kind of like expand upon like a random thought that I've had, and maybe you can kind of like maybe you can kind of like touch on this too before we close out the podcast, is that I'm reevaluating everything in my thought process. What's been in the weak angle, what's been the strong angle. Like I can feel it now. I can feel what you're talking about. And I have struggled with this, scarcity mindset, always thinking about what I don't have, leading to overambition, leading to greed, and trying to self-evaluate, like what is going on. And I've totally disconnected from like mainstream politics right now. Like I keep hearing about all these things going on in the world, and I'm just like not in it anymore. I'm just taking a step back for like, it's been like 2 weeks, and I've just been going deep, deep into history. In particular, I've been diving really deep into World War II, just obsessively with it. And I saw this new mini series that's just been blowing me away. It's called Masters of the Air or Masters of the Sky. Have you heard of it?
No, tell me more.
Oh, it's so good. It's everyone got to watch it. It's on Apple TV, Apple Plus, and it's by the same production team that did Band of Brothers. They did The Pacific. They did Saving Private Ryan. It's like just phenomenal job. And they go over the story of the 100th Air Bomber Division in the European theater. And I'm learning about this. I'm watching episodes. I'm also having conversations with my AI. It's teaching it back to me, and some of the some of the fates of some of these men that had to go through this World War experience, I just couldn't even imagine how they did it. Like we're talking, like just as an example, that this 100th Bomber Division started before they started operations, started with 350 airmen, pilots, and crew. 350, and this is just one division, right? It's a lot of men. After like 4 months, they were down to 10. They're down to 10 men. And like when you see these operations go by, like they're flying in these B-17 flying fortresses that are made out of fucking aluminum, right? Flying over Europe, getting hit with flak rounds that are basically explosive grenades in the air. They're getting shot by 20 millimeter cannons by the Luftwaffe, by Ju-88 airplanes, right? And some of these airplanes, it would hold 10 men in a plane, right? 10 guys, unpressurized. So they're in altitudes up that are as high as Mount Everest. So they all have oxygen deprivation, right? They're freezing. Like some of these guys, like they can't salivate or it'll freeze to their skin. And in just one swoop by the enemy airplane could kill all 10 men instantaneously. There's this one incident in 60 seconds, they lost 40 men, four bombers, all got taken out by eight different fighters. And the point I'm trying to make, the picture I'm trying to paint, is the unimaginable suffering and the unimaginable odds that some people have to go through. And I'll tell you what, I have thought about how grateful I am for the life that I have and how stupid my problems actually are. And how much less anxiety and stress and agitation I have in my day to day. And now that I'm just disconnected from this constant flow of information that the world provides right now with the news and in things that in the government and incidences in the public, like, right? And I just focus on how bad things can really get. And I just developed so much gratitude for my life. And I'm like, you know what? Life is good. Life is really good. Like it can get so much worse. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to touch on that because it really, when you said gratitude and the strong angle, just really triggered that thought process for me. I just had wanted to share
Absolutely.
that.
Well, it's great, and I think that this is the conundrum that we're living in because the world still isn't easy, but it's probably the best, like a way to say it, platform for humans to ever exist on, right? But we're dealing with new things that we've never had to deal with before, and it's probably in some way, shape, or form a little easier to deal with when it's kind of simple, like I was just talking about survival and replication, right? Where those bomber guys, and I'll come back to the thing that the two things, right, that you made me think of is gratitude with what you were just talking about, but honor is the other one,
Mm,
right? Why would you go do something like that, right?
right.
Honor, right?
Hmm.
And maybe the third thing is alignment, right? In your own self-image and going, this is who I am, this is what I was made to do, right? There's no questioning. Right now, we have a big, even in military, we have a big problem with that. Guys get into it and they don't want to go off and risk their lives and kill other people and things like that, right? And so people come home with more PTSD problems and things like that. And it was probably a misalignment from the beginning, right? And again, you could go deep on this, like, but our culture is just not facilitating that anymore, right? Even,
Right.
you think about the baby boomers and the first round of kids that came out of that, right? Then the next thing you know, we're saying, hey, you know what? Go to Vietnam, right? You just had a silver spoon in your mouth for the first time ever in human history, right? People were living the most comfortable lives through the 50s and 60s in the United States that had ever existed before. And then we took that first round of babies and sent them off to Vietnam, right? What did that do to our culture, right?
Right.
These guys came back a mess, right? And so, it's changed like that, right? But honor is another form of strong angle leverage that I talk about in the book, right? Who are you when nobody's looking, right? It's one of the most powerful forms of leverage, again, that gives you more results with less effort just because you're in the right alignment,
Yeah.
right? And so a lot of times we're so focused on coaching plyometrics and all of these other things, but people are still misaligned, right? So when you hear the greatest of the greats, you never hear them talk about that,
Right.
right? They're so locked in. They honor their sport. They even like wrestling's the best one, and that's why I'm a little biased, right? You hear the guys at the NCAA tournament every time they honor the sport. That's why they do it, right? Is because there's just this tradition of honor. Like we participate in this thing because we're honoring the people that have come before us. We're honoring the nature and the grind of the sport and everything that comes through that. And that's what gets you to run those extra laps and think like an investor, right? Whenever you're facing a challenging situation or you just don't feel like doing it, right? Honor says, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to stay in alignment, right? And most of the
Right.
time, you don't. If you really have honor to that level, you don't even think about
Yeah. Well, doctor, it's been another freaking banger episode.
it. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, man. We got it. We got to. Don't worry, folks. This is the first of many. This is. I feel the mission. I feel the mission. You can feel it right now. You feel it. I can feel like
Yep.
this is gonna get out. We're gonna make some. We're gonna help a lot of people with this. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna help a lot of people with this message, and we're gonna get this out there. Do you have anything you kind of want to close on before we end the episode?
No, man. I mean, just like what you just said, I think this has kind of been a long time coming. I think we talked about this a little bit offline a couple weeks ago that we both bring this passion for this and have kind of different backgrounds on it, or however you want to say it. I think us working together on this is going to be really fun and impactful, which is both what we're looking to do, right? Is to not just make points, right, but is to make an impact. And so I'm excited about that.
That's the
It's been a long
mission.
time.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. All right. Well, folks, like, comment, and subscribe. If you got any questions on the strong angle, drop them in the comments. I will read them. We'll bring them up on the next episode. Uh, uh, Dr. Laniel, where can I get your book?
Yeah, it's on Amazon right now, right? And so basically, just go to Amazon, search for the Strong Angle Way, right? Transform your grind and get dialed in, right? And so
Mhm.
it's easy to find, and there's an ebook version and a paperback version as well. So I appreciate the support, right? I self-published, and it requires support from everybody to get this thing working and get this message out there, right? And I think naturally it's going to catch on as people start understanding, like reading the book like you are.